time to get serious about your financial future. It's never too early, but it could be too late to get started. And that's oftentimes the hardest part, getting started. How much do I save? Where do I invest? Do I save for college or retirement? How much for each? And who do I talk to about it all? Okay, we'll keep things simple for now and help you answer the last one. We recommend you begin with a local financial advisor, and that's Jennifer Johnson of Three Magnolias Financial Advisors. She'll sit down with you for a complimentary introductory consultation and go over all of your questions. Get started on the path to achieving your financial goals. Visit threemagnoliasfinancialadvisors.com or call 336-701-1600. Get comfortable with your financial future. Three Magnolias Financial Advisors, retirement, financial planning, and investments. Securities offered through Private Client Services, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through Three Magnolias Financial Advisors. Three Magnolias Financial Advisors and Private Client Services are not affiliated. Private Client Services is under separate ownership from any other named entity.
This is the Triad Podcast Network.
Hi, this is Jason Thiel. Welcome to the Downtown Winston-Salem Podcast. Today we have a very special guest, Mr. Sal Bravo, a longtime restaurant owner from downtown Winston-Salem. Welcome, Sal.
Hey, welcome. Thank you for having me here, guys.
How long have you been in business, Sal, here in
Been
downtown?
here for 15 years. 15 years.
So you opened
2010.
up in 2010?
Yeah, 2010.
How about that? And so 15 years. Do you own this building or do you lease it?
We lease this building.
I see.
They don't want to sell it yet.
They don't want to sell it yet?
Mm-hmm.
Do you see yourself being in the same business for another 15 years?
We hope so, at least another 10, but it gets to the point that you also get tired of it, dealing with the number one problem that every restaurant owner has is it's good employees, die-hard employees that love kitchen or wait staff, it's different from our era,
The
a little bit different.
restaurant business has really got two main expenses that, most people just don't, it's inherent, but they don't think about it. But labor and food costs are the two biggies.
Yeah.
They generally account for anywhere from 70 to 80% of a restaurant's expenses, right?
It goes right. You hit it right on it.
Yeah, and so, there's different rules of thumbs and different types of businesses, but a full-service sit-down restaurant like yours, definitely you're in that high labor, high food cost.
Mm-hmm.
And I think nothing over the past 5 years has been more impacted by COVID and then inflation in wages and food cost.
Yeah, you said all three, but I think the last two ones you mentioned about labor and the inflation of food costs, it's one that's been hurting us most. I mean, I do remember when COVID era came in here, I know we struggled, we shut down, and then we opened up slowly, but we saw a lot of support from our customers, but kind of just settled down a little bit, and then sometimes, like we say, you got good months, and then suddenly, kind of laid back months,
It's interesting because I think that I haven't seen any really good pure articles on this, but I do think people, maybe you've seen it, maybe some other people have seen it, but I do think that what we're seeing is people don't eat out as much as they did post-COVID as they did pre-COVID.
Yeah, correct. I mean, we have seen it, feel it, that they haven't come out that much like after COVID, it kind of laid back a little bit more, like people just maybe more cautious, maybe with all this information out there about COVID getting sick, it just creates a little fear on them to go out,
I think one of the things that people did see in the news reports was that you've been through a terrible trial with your health, and it all started back at the very early beginning stages of the COVID crisis. Tell us a little bit about that, Sal.
On May 2020, I mean, basically it was like almost April, we heard that they were going to shut us down, like just takeout only. And when we saw that coming in, we were like, I'll go away real quick, But to make matters worse, I started working here at the restaurant. They shut down all the bars, and then they cut down the restaurant business. And then we had to deal a lot with the employees not working, friends not working from other restaurants, So we decided to pitch in, and once or twice a week, I remember it was twice a week, we used to gather ourselves out there and maybe give 100 orders of food, out for all the staffs and bartenders downtown, and it was going really, really smooth until May hit, and this guy ended up going to the hospital and not coming back to 3 months later.
So you were in the hospital for 3 months, laid up with a very serious case of the coronavirus.
It was a pretty good infection. Got on my lungs, with the virus, and it was just sitting down for almost basically a month and a half in coma. And
did you say a coma?
Coma, yeah. They induce your coma because they just put you on 100% ventilator, almost to keep you strong, and then try to deal with your bacteria. And, a lot of things were new, and it was hard for them also at the hospital. I was at Baptist Hospital at that time, it was kind of hard for them to guess which bacteria it was. It took a lot of time for them also. They were desperate also, but after seeing what they did, I just appreciate it very much what they did, having me here.
How long were you in the coma?
A month and a half in the coma. Yeah.
I am so thankful that you're sitting here with us. I have to say, that must have been really something for you and your family. I'm really amazed by that, and a lot of people may not have heard this story, but there was some news reports about it. When you do you remember when they put you in the coma?
Yeah, I was a week into it, and the things were getting better, but at one point I was so tired I was laying on my back and I just flipped over. I do remember the doctor saying, you know what, buddy, stay like that for a little while and maybe you get out on Friday. And that was on Tuesday. So on Thursday, they just made a little meeting and said, you know what, we're going to put the track on you, buddy, because you're getting a little bit sicker, and you're not holding too much air like you're supposed to, and your lungs are not working properly. You got a big infection on your lungs. So I said, okay, go for it. It was good news for me, but it was bad news for the family because everybody that got that track, basically, you were dying, But the faith that I had to come out, and be up here again was so big, and with the help of the doctors and the good guy upstairs, is always there around us.
That's right.
I'm still here, I'm so grateful.
And you knew that going into it.
Yeah. That was maybe the first great. Ones in there, and I do remember the guy said, you're maybe the second worst, more sick one in here, but what you got, we just don't know how you got it. I know you started with COVID. I know you started feeling bad for like 4 days until.
So they tried to contact trace it and find to find a strain.
Yeah, trying to strain, but it was like everybody else, Everybody was getting it, but they didn't know where it came from.
You just don't, and that made a difference in how they cared for it, I guess.
Yeah, made it a little different. And it was tough for them also because they had to go, like in my case, they had to go to a lot of even countries, to find out what we can do with this guy, what you guys been helping other people, get out of this problem. And they were like chatting on Facebook or live streams, we're doing like, hey man, what can we do we got this problem going on up here and we haven't seen it, but have you guys deal with it? And they say, yeah, we deal with it. We got to use this, we got to use that, different medicine, or even, I do remember it was steroids also because I took a lot of steroids for my lungs. And I do remember them telling me that thanks to meetings overseas, other countries, Europe and all that stuff, with other doctors and specialists, they found out what to do, to take me step by step.
When you came out of the coma, this is like July
16. I remember that day, July 16. It was.
And when you came out of it, they induced that, or did you come out of it naturally?
I think they must have induced it, but I do have a video there where I was in pictures. I was just sitting with my eyes wide open, just like looking at nothing,
Did you feel okay? Was it just a surreal moment, or?
For me, it was like one day asleep and wake up the next day, but the problem is the body was taking its toll, with basically stuck to the bed and
man,
bed sores. I had a big one right beside my ribs, but I don't care. It's the size of a tomahawk steak, but I don't care. It's just I'm still here.
Did that cause you problems later?
Oh yeah. So far, the biggest problems that I had with this injury, you basically take almost a year and a half to don't get nothing heavy, don't straighten it, don't push it, don't pull it, nothing. But the worst part was trying to be yourself again. I came back and I saw that I can respond good. I remember everybody and all that stuff. That was a good signal for them, But the problem was the depression, the anxiety, and not sleeping for almost 3 years, 3 hours a day.
Why was that? Just
anxiety. It was made too much medication and the stress that I had. I said post-trauma, whatever it was. And it was
Sal,
just
I'm so sorry. It
was a lot of things. That's why I spent almost 4 years without being here at the restaurant. I had my kids working up here. and I was just hiding. I couldn't be under the hood system. I couldn't be around where people were cooking too much, because basically it was clogging up my lungs and making me cough a lot, and just stressing me out was the worst thing, stress.
Looking at you right now, I'm 4 feet away from you. You look great.
I'm trying.
You look as good as you did before the pandemic. I mean, really. And I, at the time, I think I saw you a lot because you had the location at 6th and Trade Street.
Yeah.
And before the pandemic, and I have to say that was a really good place, and it seems like a different time, a different era. Like, it really does.
It was too quick for me. Like downtown, Señor Bravo was in and out. We were doing really good. And like I said, a lot of people start walking in, man. COVID's coming in. They believe this. And it was just different ways of seeing it, saying no. And suddenly, they say, we're shutting everybody down. Everybody's going to work at home. So there was no sales. I had to shut it down.
It was, what's interesting for me is like through the COVID crisis, I'm sure I got COVID and I got all the vaccines, but I never got sick. And I'm sure I got it. And it's so strange how it treats different people. I guess, that just means you're going to live to be 120 and I'm going to, have some problems from something.
I just hope it gets to 100, but it'd be nice.
But I wish that for you too, man.
I don't want to be in a wheelchair too much time.
Your family must just be so thankful for where you are now.
Yeah.
Do you have any limitations now?
Basically, right now, I feel myself almost like a 90%, back where I was. The biggest problem is that I have is I went overweight because not doing exercise, and it's just stress, not sleeping, cortisol way up. But I'm dealing with it slowly. I'm in no hurry.
Well, you look thin. You look trim.
I don't like. I've been losing weight from the top, but it'll get there. It's taking the medication right now, some treatments, to get back on it.
Well, guys, you need to come down and see Sal and just tell him you heard this story and just the incredible, just survival story of Sal, and it was covered in the news press, I think, on
Fox has it with Daniel. Daniel used to be here in Winston. I know he's out there in High Point now. One of the reporters out there with an anchor, out there now, I believe. And he was here 2 or 3 times. One day he went to my house. And that's a funny one because that day was the first time I got on a wheelchair. I didn't want a wheelchair, because that's the only time to take you out of the hospital. I just wanted to walk. I went through a little stroller away, which I did 2 weeks after, but it was just like a new baby's first steps, So for 6 months, I was walking like a baby on his first 3 days, stepping, trying, am I going to fall back or fall forward? I did have some big falls, some ugly ones, but it was because of balance. I do remember one, Jason, and I remember you walking one day downtown, and you didn't see me because I was going through the 4th Street. I got out Señor Bravo's here, and up the hill, just about 30 feet away, I felt that I was going a hill at a 90 degrees angle at full force, and I blew up my breathing and my lungs in 25 steps that I did. And that was just walking.
Man.
And when I saw you towards the little store of 4th Street, they sell like sodas and all that stuff. I know you're walking. I was coming out of the corner, but you took the left. I was like, ooh. See, that was me right there walking, just like this kid.
Mm-hmm. Is this your grandson?
Yeah.
How many children do you have, Sal?
We got three in the family and 2 grandsons now.
Wow.
2 boys and 1 girl. One of them is working here, Sal. My other one was working here on the pandemic. They just hustle.
So 2 sons and a daughter.
Yeah.
And they kept the place alive.
Yeah. The oldest one kept the place alive, the oldest one.
What's his name?
Sal, also.
He's Sal
Revenge,
Jr.
Revenge of Pops.
Is he junior?
Junior, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And who's this grandson we have
This guy right here, this guy's called James.
Hey.
He's not Rick James, but he's James.
He looks like he's about a year old.
He's a year old, a year in a month, I believe.
He's adorable.
Yeah.
I just have to say congratulations. Where did you grow up, Sal?
Well, I'm going to start from my roots, where I come from. I was born in Mexico in 1971, and that was July 9th. And we moved.
I'm a few months older than you. I'm May 7th, 1971.
And then we moved to California. Like all my grandparents lived in uncles and my grandfather and everybody lived in California. The garlic capital of the world called Gilroy. So they work on the fields, like
what part of the state?
Gilroy, California.
Is that in the
garlic capital of the world, right in the middle,
right in the
San Andreas Fault,
near Bakersfield and Fresno and that area?
Bakersfield 4 hours away south. Fresno's an hour and a half, almost like the west north side.
And that
so
is,
we're right at the Monterey Peninsula.
Yeah.
45 minutes from the Monterey Peninsula.
it's the part of California no one really talks about it, but, the Grapes of Wrath. You ever read that book?
No, I didn't, but
You got to read it. It's a good book.
I got to check it out.
Yeah, I think you'd like it. I mean, it's about the Dust Bowl era and the way that the farmers took advantage of the workers.
Well, I'll say it, and I'm gonna say it in two ways right there, because I remember my grandfather was a guy that was almost like an activist, trying to help people out, because I know the paycheck was real low. It was hard 12 hours a day or 16 hours a day, and the paycheck was half of whatever the people made. But
And you had to spend it in the company store.
basically, most of the times at the company store.
Yeah.
But and then they started regrouping and being more intelligent, buying properties, buying land, and putting trailer parks in there. So it started helping out the community. But the biggest thing that helped out a lot was out there was I remember when the strike came in. I think it was Cesar Chavez, I believe, trying to help them out with the grapes with Napa Valley, because my grandparents used to go all the way up there, But I always heard my grandfather say they were so appreciated for having the opportunity to come to this country, and they were not visiting. They were here to stay to work.
Right.
They were not immigrants because basically they were there to stay. Mm-hmm. Immigrants are the ones that come and go. For me, that's what I think. I immigrated, I'm going to leave,
Yeah.
But these guys stood there forever, And I have a thing that I always say that, and I don't know if I'm going to offend some people, but it's nice to say it. Some people say how much you love this country. I said, I love it a lot. It's my country versus where I was born in Mexico for 3 months, and then I got over here,
Yeah.
But I love this country more than a lot of people do because I respect this country the way it is. I'm not going to defend this country. I'm not going to do something bad to this country. I just want to create it different, If you appreciate a little bit this country gives you, it's a lot. Because you've seen a lot things worse other countries, but still, it's a country of immigrants, and it's just fun to see a lot of diversity. I like to talk to, like in California, we have a lot of Filipinos, Japanese, Koreans, Mexicans there also, and the biggest ones are like not too much South. Salvador is the one we see the most.
Did you work in the California agricultural community?
I'll put it real short for you guys. I started working at 5 years old, to be honest. I remember when my dad used to take us, before we got to school, and I do remember all the stuff, We used to pick walnuts or apricots that fall down on right beside a tree and throw in a bucket. It's called pepenar. Pepenar, like picking one thing at a time, fill a bucket. And we used to do like 10 or 12 buckets a day. And that was just picking around fruit. And I do remember the ranchers out there were so happy. They were like, we're not losing no product. I mean, they're picking it up. And I remember we used to get $1 a day for all that stuff. And that $1 would buy me ice cream, Twinkies, and 2 50-cent Cokes from the machine.
And
that was nice.
They have like 3 growing seasons in that valley, don't they?
3.
That's what I thought. And they, a lot of like nuts.
Like April and May, you get cherries.
Yeah.
You can go, the cherries is the first one that starts, also with the onions, which we did all that. June and July, the hardest part, and the end of August is basically garlic. You got to sit down on your knees and go one by one, cut the beard on the front and cut the tail off and throw it in the bucket,
How about that?
Walnuts, it's October to almost November. So September and October is walnuts, green bell pepper, lettuce, asparagus, celery, cucumbers, and hot peppers. So we used to, wherever they needed help, we used to go there. The ones that I loved a lot to do was apricots because it was my favorite fruit, man, when I was out there. I don't care how I was in the tree, I'll just eat it. But it was hard too because you had to dry it, cut it in half, throw the bone, and it was 4 o'clock in the morning, get up and go to sleep at 6, 7. But there was no way we go to sleep 6, 7.
Now, do the California raisins come from grapes?
Yeah.
And they just let the grapes shrivel up to
What
raisins?
they do, they throw the little, I don't know if you see, I don't know how to call this, like a cardboard paper that we have. So one guy comes in and starts chopping it down, throwing it there. The other guy is right in front of him, is throwing paper, so he lays down about 100 sheets, and then comes back when the grapes on top and just folds them. So by the time the other guy's done, he's already done doing one thing. So it's a teamwork of 2. They did pretty good money.
That is such hard work.
It is.
It is, and I can't imagine the muscle pain and strain you'd have after just working in that kind of labor is just intense. And I have to say,
did it for 15 years, buddy.
You did for 15 years.
And then I started at age 5. I'm telling you.
So when you were 20, tell us about some things that came to you and how you got to North Carolina or your path here.
I went to school down in Gilroy, California, and in Hollister also. And I was only in 8th grade because we had to make money. It was
right.
California is high. It's not a
yeah.
nice place to live if you don't got a good job. You know,
Is this like the early 80s?
Early 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And I was raised up out there. Went to school. My biggest thing was being a soccer player because I had a high demand. I had 4 teams a week. They went to my house. They even paid me to go. Sometimes I didn't even have to go to work. It's because they paid me.
You played on 4 soccer teams.
4 soccer teams in California. School,
what position?
I was a midfielder.
Okay, so
yeah.
You played for the school?
Played for the school, and then later on I went to play for I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say names, but a couple of colleges out there got my name and put in there, and I was a college student, but I was just playing. So that's all I could tell. I didn't go to college. I did play college soccer.
You're a student athlete. You were a soccer player.
I was not a student, but I was an athlete for the college.
But midfielders,
it's hard.
It's a striker, right?
Yeah.
That's the front row, right?
It's the strike. It's the one that has to do the whole mess.
Yeah.
You either attack or you defend and you clean the mess. So
I have to say, that's really great. Do your children also play soccer?
My youngest one, he's a beast on it. The oldest one quit already because now he's 30-something years old.
Have you picked up a soccer ball since the sickness?
To be honest, I picked it up on the 4th month. I was walking like a little baby still, you know. And I remember we went to this, I think it's an indoor soccer fields in Kernersville, my son's play. No, it was a year after. Well, no. Mm-hmm. And I started hitting the wall, and everybody said, you're going to get your touch back again. You don't lose it, you know. It's there. It's just memory, you know. But I do remember the saddest part of all was going to a soccer tournament with these guys from, I know Steph Hamilton or whatever, tried elite soccer.
Mm-hmm.
They had an undefeated season, beating every top-level team there was. We were down in, I think it was Huntsville, Alabama, I believe. And the ball came to me, and I said, I'm going to crack that thing so hard. Man, I feel like I hit a rock, man.
Really?
I fell down forward, and then I stood quiet, and everyone started looking at me and said, what happened? I said, I just don't know what happened. I said, I felt the ball coming down, but I felt like I hit a rock.
Your children and family must be terribly protective of you throughout this process.
They did for 3 years. For 3 years, they're so protective. Don't touch here, don't go here, don't do that. Everything, you know. But I just felt bad because I didn't want to feel like somebody on their way, you know, because it's too young. But,
well, I have to say that is a tremendous story. And how did you get to North Carolina?
Well, North Carolina, right after the soccer season there, and working there and that, I went to Mexico, and I had to go teach my Spanish out there, you know, because I was more English up here than Spanish. So I was talking like those guys, they got an egg on their mouth, you know.
You were bilingual from the get-go.
Yeah, bilingual. Yeah. But I was more on the English language than the Spanish one.
Okay.
So we went to Mexico, and I just love Mexico because it was
right.
It was so free out there. I mean, you can go late. It was cool. So I met my wife out there.
In Mexico?
In Mexico.
What part of Mexico?
It's called Degollado, Jalisco, small town, right beside Guadalajara where tequila is made. Basically, tequila nation.
On the Pacific coast?
No, it's right, not the Pacific too much, 4 hours on the Pacific. Guadalajara is almost the central part of Mexico. And it's always 85, 90 heat.
Nice.
And a nice little winter at 50. We
have
a lot of mountains, not too humid.
It's kind of like Colorado, though.
It's beautiful, man. We call it all year summer. I mean, let's say not summer, but almost like summer, but not too hot, you know.
They get snow in the winter?
Spring. Basically, it's all year spring. We don't have no snow.
How about that?
We don't have no snow. The coldest it gets, 45, 50.
It's closer to the equator, but it's higher elevation.
Yeah. It is a little bit elevation, but where we live at is a lower, mid-elevation.
What would you say, like, how high in elevation?
Yeah, I know it's midway because we go to Mexico City. I don't know how many thousand feet it is, but we're way halfway to that.
I see.
So that's why I compare Mexico City because Mexico is always high. People.
So if you were to walk from like the Rio Grande to Mexico City, it's going to be uphill a lot of the way.
It's going to be more downhill.
Really?
Yeah, the uphill comes from the south up because it's incredible, but it is because there's a lot of hills going up. So when you're coming down, you might get some hills, but not much. Even more on the downside. I need to learn
more about the geography and topography. I know a lot about the history of Mexico. I've read a lot about it. It's a fascinating story, the Mexican Revolution and all the interesting people involved.
It's good.
I want to take a quick break from this show to do two things. One, we'll say thank you for listening and supporting the Triad Podcast Network. Just listening to this episode is appreciated. Second, I want to ask that you support a local business that supports us as a presenting partner, a real estate company we trust, the Ginther Group, located in Winston-Salem. The housing market is moving fast. You need someone you can rely on to assess your situation, read the data and trends, and steer you in the right direction. Interest rates, inventory, new construction, there are so many factors that impact our local market. Don't buy into the national internet headlines. Get the information from the folks right here in our neighborhood. Contact Blake Ginther and the Ginther Group today. Whether you're buying or selling, have cash or not, or if your home isn't in the ideal condition for selling, chances are they have a solution for you. Call 336-283-8689 or visit theginthergroup.com. Buying, selling, investing, or just learning, whatever you need. Start now and, like me, you can become a Ginther Group client for life.
Life is full of celebrations, birthdays, holidays, life milestones, and so much more. And who has been helping generations of families celebrate these events? Our friends at Dewey's Bakery. And even if you aren't planning for something in the near future, you don't have to wait to enjoy something savory and delicious from Dewey's. Maybe you just need something to get you through your Mondays. Drop by every Monday for a free Cake Square Day. No purchase necessary. Just come celebrate the start of a new week. So, if you're hearing this ad on a Monday and you're in your car, reset that GPS and get to one of their 3 Triad locations immediately in Winston-Salem at Thruway and Renolda Manor, plus one in Greensboro at Friendly Shopping Center. And any day of the week, you can find the perfect item with fast and easy ordering options at local.deweys.com. Plus, Dewey's does so much to help celebrate our community. To date, they've given back over $4 million to local schools, churches, and other nonprofits. Your next celebration isn't complete without something special from Dewey's Bakery. Dewey's. Celebrate every day.
And what brought me here to North Carolina was in '89. There was a big soccer tournament that restaurant owners from
That's the year we
from
graduated high school.
Huh?
That's the year I graduated high school.
I didn't go to high school, buddy.
Right.
I was too broke. We were too poor. Sometimes we didn't have something to eat. We had to go out in the fields and get some tomatoes and onions and clean them up, and that's what we ate.
Yeah.
But in '89, I had a job opportunity to come up here. I was doing professional soccer in Mexico, and one of my cousins, they own, I don't know if you remember La Coretta and Coliseum.
Yes.
And the one in Peters Creek, that's where I worked both those places.
Yeah.
They said, man, I'll pay you everything. Just get over here, come and play with me. So we were practicing at Polo on Wake Forest campus.
Right.
The team was practicing there, and we started playing, and there I started making money. Working at the restaurant, I was making more money scoring and making goals with their team because they were making a lot of money, a lot of good bets. So they were, under the table making bets, so they used to pay us a lot.
So soccer brought you here.
Soccer brought me here. Yeah.
And you stayed.
Yeah, man. Once I got out that airplane and I was going through, I think it was Business 40.
How'd you talk your wife into coming?
No. I mean, we were born one to another, and we were just, you go, I go, and we're just going to start a new family. That's when I started from zero.
That had to be something
Sleeping
else.
on the floor, buddy, for 6 months.
And at the time in 1989, early 90s, what portion of the population versus now would you say was
double?
Double the Mexican.
It's double now.
Yeah.
It's tripled, I think, in the Mexican. Because when I first got here in '89, '90, if I saw a Mexican, I was like, wow, there's one here.
Yeah.
I remember the Super Kmart, Eunice Parkway. Now what the Grand is.
Super Kmart.
Now what the Grand is,
Yeah.
We used to go there, buy some Mexican product, like maybe tomatoes, tortillas, and that. That was the only place they had. There was no Mexican stores in '89.
Oh, man, it's so cool talking to someone my age.
Until Sprague Street showed up, the little store called La Providencia.
Oh, yeah.
That's the first store that came in, and I'm telling you, that's when we started seeing Mexicans coming up because they were like, where are you at? Now, there's a Mexican store. So basically, that place, that corner right there, was the first Mexican real site of Mexican people,
And was it a gathering place for the Mexican
Yeah,
community?
because, man, they had everything. They had every product we needed from Mexico, from pastas to corns to seasonings and everything from Mexico, straight up from Mexico.
When I moved from Florida to Texas, I lived in Fort Worth, and I did not know very much about Mexican culture or food. Was just totally ignorant, and then became familiar with. Texas has I guess, a deeper history with the Mexican population for obvious reasons. You know, it used to be part of Mexico, and I think that the food was something that really, I did not know about Mexican soup.
Yeah.
Did not know about Mexican seafood. The vast differences in broad spectrum of food choices in the Mexican culture.
It's a lot.
It's very broad, and people really need to, to know that. And I think that, so when I came here, this is when you opened. Obviously, this is a great place to eat, and there are many great places in the Mexican category to eat here. And do you guys argue with each other over who's got the best food?
No, we never do that because we have a say. The sun comes out for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't care if you were in front of me, we're going to do okay. We support one another, but if there are things that can be improved, we just talk and that's it. But, I mean, with all this technology right now, this media, I mean, you can find new stuff coming out there, trends out there in the streets, and put them into use, Well,
we're a better city and a better place and a better country for having folks like you, Sal, and your family and your loved ones here. And I think that for me in downtown, I'm selfishly just thankful that you're here. And the struggles and the trials and the tribulations of what you've been through is just enormous.
It's tough. I mean, it's a hard road to be, But once you get used to it, take your pride about it. People tell me, Sal, man, how can you be on? I just love doing it. I love catering service. I love taking food to people. One of the things I love so much is donating. I don't want to show it off to nobody, but where there's hunger, I'm there. And whoever saved my life at Baptist Hospital, one day they can hear this, They know that every month I'm out there feeding. Now, there's only half of the staff left there that took care of me on Reynolds Tower, so I go feed them once a month.
Do you?
Yeah, all of us. I don't care if you're new. Just tell me how many you got. Oh, I got 150.
Oh, what an
150.
amazing story.
So I leave food for 3 shifts in there.
Oh, man.
Simple as that. Once a month we go out there.
Oh, man, that's great.
I mean, they come here and eat, and they come talk to me about things that I never saw because of sleep, and it just builds up. It just builds up.
That's really something. I have to say, that is really something. I think that's superb. Anything about your restaurant, like, is there a certain food that you like to brag on your people about? Is there something that you think is really...
It's just that there's 30 plates that I can brag about it,
Right.
That people make difference in our place, but we try to keep it, on the home side, When I built this menu here, my menu was... I don't know if you guys remember, I used to own Las Estrellas Mexican restaurant. It used to be a smaller place. You had to have a little buffet, You didn't make $1 out of that thing. But it was just to expose the plates that they were homemade style. And that's when I opened this restaurant up. I remember one day Mr. Leggett came in here and said, "Hey, Sal, are you going to do high-end Mexican?" I said, "Yeah, the high-end Mexican that just left from here, an enchilada was $5.99.
Right.
And mine were $1.99, and I don't think that was an enchilada, buddy, but it's okay. So we created a menu where it's more authentic to the area that we live on. Now, we do have people from the coast and the south and the Pacific and Atlantic, and we start mixing up the menu. But I can brag of a lot of them. My enchiladas, I can brag about them. My chipotle flavors, I can brag about them. My burritos, I can brag about them.
When you're talking about geographic, specialties, you're talking about Mexican Atlantic.
Yeah, Mexican would be like Mexico City, Jalisco, where I was raised. Michoacan is right beside the Pacific. Colima, Pacific coast, close to Puerto Vallarta. And the people from Acapulco, Guerrero, the state of Guerrero, that live here also have a big community here in Winston. And they're my employees also. We created different things.
So you have different taste, and just like folks in the south of the United States have different, tendencies than maybe Midwestern or Californian or Northerner.
It's just like everything, It's like you guys got hot dogs here, that I love so much.
Yeah.
In Mexico, we got dogos because we wrap them up in bacon. You put grilled onions, grilled peppers, and a jalapeno on top.
Yeah.
A little bit of Maggi, a little bit of mustard, and just a little bit of love on top, and they're bigger, they're streets type, you know. Mm-hmm. They're called dogos, you know, but here's hot dogs, but I've always been a fan of hot dogs since I was a kid.
Do you remember the band when we were growing up, Menudo?
Menudo was one of the bands, like, you call it Boys to Men, or what's NSYNC, you know, or what's the other one?
I don't know, man. Like,
what's the other band?
Backstreet
Boys, yeah, that's the one. They're still good, man. I loved them when I was a kid, man, so... Even Milli Vanilli, because they were lip singers, okay?
Yeah.
But they sing really good.
I think they were given a raw deal. Considering how many people synthesize their music these days, you know, I don't think, you know, the fact that they put on a show was, I don't know. I mean, it's just.
Right now, it's more show than singing, okay?
Yeah.
Because all the singing is auto-tune.
Yes, it
Back
is.
in the day, you know, you cannot even use a mic because that's how beautiful the voices were because they worked for it, you know? But now. They can be a guy just and you got a song.
Yeah.
That's simple as that.
It really is.
Isn't that right? Okay, there is a hit. It's just a beat on the back, and it's the same thing.
One of the food things that I discovered, like I mentioned earlier, was soup and caldo de pollo, or chicken soup. And there's so many different varieties of that. And just if you were to dedicate yourself to just eating that bowl of food in every Mexican restaurant you visited for the rest of your life, you would see as many divergent options and different components to a chicken soup than you would, although carrots, rice, chicken on the bone.
Yeah, gotta be chicken on the bone.
It got to have chicken stock. And
it comes out of its own flavor.
And then I've seen a whole bunch of wild things come after that. You know, potatoes, like whole potatoes.
You put potatoes. I don't know what the fruit is called, the green one.
Yeah.
It's called chayote.
Yeah.
It looks kind of green, like a, you know.
Yeah.
It's family of the potato. You put carrots on it. You put a piece of corn. You add. Some people add oregano. Some people add cilantro on it. Potatoes on it's always there, and something can even have spicy sauce to it. It's good.
Do you like refried beans is something that is just
mandatory, man.
Absolutely mandatory.
Yeah, no.
And
that's a rich man's taco, man. Back in the day, I'm telling you, because if you had that, you were rich. Simple as that.
I love just refried beans, like at home by myself. Like I'll cheat and buy a can of refried beans, but then
don't do that again.
Yeah, I know. It's terrible.
Don't do that again.
I know. See?
Leave that to the back in the day when we were working all day, But if you can, grab a little. What's the little pot, that cooking pots you have? Crockett pots, whatever it is. Crock pot, there, right? Put some beans in it with water and a little bit of salt. Put it low overnight. Next day, you got fresh pinto beans in there.
And you just stir it up after that?
No, don't do nothing. Just leave them like that, because the first thing you can do is going to eat all the soup on it, all the water's in there,
Yeah.
Because that's all your iron, Then you grab some pico de gallo. That's all you need. An avocado slice. That's all you need.
So this is a little bit like...
You can do pork rinds on top. You can do a quesadilla on top. You can just build it.
That's not a whole lot different than kind of how I do like greens. So I'm going to try that. I don't learn everything.
When you're done a little bit with your beans on the second day, and then I do recommend using pork lard. I will use it here, but I'll use it for my own self.
Right.
People don't like pork. But pork is the safest thing there is on the fatty side versus the vegetable oil that comes, and maybe even from diesel trucks. I don't know, because they got too many ingredients on it. Mm-hmm. But we just put 2 hot peppers in there, like maybe a serrano diced up, let it fry it up a little bit on its own oil, then add the beans to slow smash them, let it just dry a little bit, put some cheese on it, make your own quesadillas, and you got the best beans around.
Yeah, man.
Simple as that.
That sounds really good. In fact, I think we're going to eat after this.
No, you got it's mandatory.
Yeah, we're definitely eating after this.
The bean soup is so good if you do it whole, but on the first day, because you get all the soup. It's so clear. You just put pico de gallo and avocado. That's all you need, buddy. Or a spinach quesadilla on the side, or even put some greens on top on the beans. It's just so good, man.
Salsa is that just tomatoes?
No, salsa is a lot of ways. Right now, there's maybe a million recipes right now, especially in Mexico.
There's a million recipes.
They got mangoes, they got cucumber salsas, they got strawberry, raspberry salsa out there. But the most famous one is dried chile de árbol, roasted tomatoes, garlics, 1 to 2 serranos or jalapenos, and some roasted onions on it. You put them in this little, we call it the Mexican blender, the rock one, molcajete. Start smashing slowly. Add a little bit of salt. put it in your taste, and you're gone. That's it. That's the original salsa.
You could teach a master's level course, I think, in food prep. I think one last question, and we'll end the conversation. But I wanted to ask you about what you think about hot sauces. And is hot sauce something that has, is that something that you guys here at Señor Bravo try to include in the food? Are there people that really like hot food, like really hot?
I'm surprised that every day we got more and more customers adding for hotter and more spicy sauces. We do have 5 sauces here. One of them is called chimichurri. It's made with oil, garlic, guajillo peppers, and chili del pepper, and that thing is hot. But you can put it on everything, even pancakes. That's how good it is.
It is hot.
It is hot. I mean, for me, it's good because I can handle up to 10 plus. But for you guys, it'll be like hell on your mouth.
Do you think that folks who are native Mexican, do they eat more spicy foods than most other people?
I think 99% of them, buddy.
Really?
If there's not something hot on top of it, it's not good.
Really? I didn't know that.
Even on TikTok, you see videos out there. You see like labor guys working on the fields. You see one guy bologna sandwich just with bread and bologna, chips and a juice. And then you see the Mexican guy come up here and he brings all this chile colorado, beef stew or whatever, or beans with hot sauce and all that. But you see a sauce in the middle and fresh peppers, serrano peppers especially. They chew them on bites by bite. It's simple as that, fresh like that.
It's gonna be some spice in that, some heat.
Basically, that's your Red Bull, man. That's your Mexican Red Bull right there.
I think that there's so many things that like the different foods, like tamales. I really learned about tamales. What I thought was a tamale was not a tamale in the sense that it wouldn't be what I was getting from a can was not something that you guys would eat.
No, not even my dog would eat it.
Yeah, see?
Simple as that, dude.
Yeah, that's.
I opened one can one day and I said, "What is this? This looks like sardines on dope. Come on, man."
That's so funny,
like, no.
man. Have you seen that guy on Instagram who does like the chef talks? He likes to narrate the videos that people put on YouTube making funny foods with canned things in these big dishes.
The ones I saw, the best one was the pozole one, the Mexican pozole soup.
Yeah, you should do this. You should make a YouTube video with chef talks with
Maybe do Campbell's soup as a chicken soup. Back in the day.
I think that would be.
It's one of my favorites.
Well, your personality's definitely I think you could definitely get some followers, make some money on YouTube.
Hey man, Mexicans who created the Maruchan soup? What country?
I don't know.
You got any idea? What was it? Somewhere in Asia, something like that, wasn't it?
What is it?
Instant soups called Maruchans.
Oh.
They come in a cup, the soup, shrimp soup.
Yeah. I know
okay,
what you're talking about,
I think it came from out there. Well, the Mexicans were so creative because it was the cheapest thing there was out there to eat.
These are like the styrofoam cups that have the little
hot
lid
water
on the top
and put it in the microwave.
Yeah.
And there's ramen noodles and all that stuff out there.
Right.
Well, these Mexicans are so crazy that we created something real funny. We use barbacoa. Barbacoa is shredded beef, barbacoa meat with juice on and everything. We buy the ramen noodles and throw the barbacoa inside of it, Buddy, it's out of here. Oh. But it's up to you if you want to try ramen noodles because I know they're made of plastic or something like that because they last forever.
I have to say, man, I am more hungry now than I ever have. But I have to say, guys, if you need to come down and see Sal, he's got everything. He's got a great staff, and I always love the ambiance here. And you always see somebody when you come here, too. So I just say, Sal, thank you. Any last words that you'd like to say?
No, just keep on helping out and keep on coming and visiting downtown. And I know it's hard sometimes with those parking spots out there, man, but if you ain't got a spot, come on down and park at Señor Bravo's and walk 2 blocks in. I won't say nothing. Just come and get it.
They got a parking lot.
Free parking lot.
What's your address?
241 South Marshall Street.
Just south of Salem Parkway.
We're basically Marshall and Cherry on the corner where Brookstown is and these new apartments down here in the back. But if you want to park in the night, late night, whatever, just serve yourself and have a good time.
Just right next to Camino Bakery and Buy Good Coffee and Meridian. And so right there in Brookstown. Guys, thank you for being on our show. Thank you, Sal.
Thank you guys for coming here.
We'll see you next time on the Downtown Podcast.
Have fun, guys.
Hey, thanks for listening to this episode on the Triad Podcast Network. Our mission is simple: provide information, advice, and stories about the people and places that make the North Carolina Triad such a great place to be. You can find us by searching Triad Podcast Network on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, pretty much wherever you like to listen. If you like what you heard and want to support the show and those that contribute, we would truly appreciate a rating and review on your favorite podcast app. It helps spread the word along, as do your shares on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Triad Podcast. To get in touch with us, simply email info@triadpodcast.com. Thanks for listening.
This is the Triad Podcast Network.